I'm Bryan Martin.
I'm Richo Toole.
This is Real Life, Real Music.
Real Life, Real Music Radio with your host, Kyle Hutton.
All right. So how you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's always fun for me when it's do-si-do night. You know, I was the. Well, how many of you remember? How many of you are old enough to remember vinyl records, like not when they were retro, right? Vinyl records, and you would go to the record store and you would flip through, and I was the guy that was always looking to see who got the songwriting credit on the back of the albums, right? So for me, I'm doing great anytime I get to sit down with songwriters, because that's just kind of my thing. You know, it's always been my thing. So thank you guys for being here tonight to talk with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I'm just thrilled to be in this place. It's such an iconic place.
It's a nice place to play songs, you know?
It is.
and it always feels to me, like we're kind of in maybe the biggest living room in the Woodlands, just getting to sit and pass a guitar around and swap songs, you know?
I always thought it was like the Ryman of North Houston. Like, man, yeah, it really is.
I like that.
A lot of great people sit on this stage, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, all right, here's the thing. I'm going to lead you guys around with a bunch of questions tonight, but for this first round, I want you guys to just pick a song. You just pick a song that you want to play and kick us off that way. So I don't know, did you guys like flip a coin to see who was going to?
Oh, no, you want to rock, paper, scissors? I'll go.
I'll let you go.
We can just go this way.
Do it.
Oh, I'm not even plugged in. That's how nervous I am.
That's the great acoustics of this room.
When I was a kid, it was funny. My dad had a bunch of cassettes, and two people I was obsessed with was the Judds and George Strait. Because it's like he had a Bronco, and it was just so cool to hear that sound, you know. And I wrote the song for my dad. It was 1996 and I was barely 15. Only cared about girls and cars and MTV. So when my dad pulled out that old cassette tape, played Blue Clear Sky, and I got carried away, and he said, let me tell you something about the Bible. Here's a little playlist, country revival. Jesus have always been my best friends. When I get in trouble, I always lean on them. I know you're gonna make some big mistakes, but it's never too late to get into God and George Strait. Back in the day, you know, I thought I knew everything. Was too cool for Jesus, didn't bow to the King. When I hit rock bottom, figured out where I went wrong. Yeah, I need a little prayer and the chill of an early fall. And let me tell you something about the Bible. Here's a little playlist, country revival. And George and Jesus have always been my best friend. When I get in trouble, I always lean on them. I know you're gonna make some big mistakes, but it's never too late to get into God and George Strait. God and George Strait. country revival. Yeah. George and Jesus have always been my best friends. When I get in trouble, I always lean on them. I know you're gonna make some big mistakes, but it's never too late to get into God and George Strait. God and George Strait. God and George Strait. Wow, thank y'all so much.
Yeah. So when did you write that one?
That came out, I think, in 2018, and I wrote it in 2017, and it was just kind of a nod to my dad and a nod to George Strait, the man. You know, I feel like our brand, like the Rich Toole brand, is so rock and roll that people kind of forget I grew up listening to 90s country. And I did the math. A couple months ago, I was asking my mom, because I was just putting 2 and 3 things together, and I said, you saw George Strait's first performance at the rodeo, right? That was in March of '83. And I was like, I was born in August of '83. She was like, oh yeah, I was pregnant at George Strait's concert, his first rodeo concert. And I was
So
like,
you went.
so I was there. So, pretty cool.
You heard it here, folks. How you doing,
awesome.
bud?
Doing all right, man. Just proud, like I said, I'm glad to be here. And, you know I got some family here and got some people that I know and appreciate them coming out here.
Well, what do you want to kick us off with? Tell us about it and play us a song.
So like I said, I spent 15 years in the oil field, and really and truly, it's just a blessing to be sitting up on stage with Rich and everybody that's come out here to listen to us. And this song's called "If It Was Easy." This just kind of tells my story about where I come from. I spent half my life down a dead-end road. Honky-tonk living is all I know. I'm a roughneck. This road a few songs. I gave it all I got to have us on my back. It's a hard-earned dollar when you make your own path. Just ask my babies, I'm never at home. If it was easy, I guess we'd all do it. If it was guaranteed, there was nothing to lose but the struggle. Oh, the struggle's what makes you strong. 'Cause it's not like me to lay down and die, no. Not after all the things that I've suffered. Yeah, it keeps me hanging on. That's what it takes to follow a song. I've been in some places never should have gone. Did a little bit of right and a whole lot of wrong. I was hellbound, Lord knows I didn't stand a chance. But he sent me an angel who was there all alone. She's still waiting there right back at home. And these other girls, Lord knows I'll never give them a second glance. 'Cause if it was easy, I guess we'd all do it. If it was guaranteed, there was nothing to lose but the struggle. Oh, the struggle's what makes you strong. 'Cause it's not like me to lay down and die, no. Not after all the things that I've suffered. Yeah, it keeps me hanging on. It's what it takes to follow these songs. If it was easy, I guess we'd all do it. If it was guaranteed, there was nothing to lose but the struggle. Hell, the struggle's what made me strong. And it's not like me to lay down and die, no. Not after all the things that I've suffered. Yeah, it keeps me hanging on. That's what it takes to follow a song. follow a song.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned the oil field, and so we know you've done some time out on the rigs. When did you start? Has music been something that has been a part of your life for a long time? Like, did you grow up kind of with the music bug, or where did it start for you?
Well, when I was, my mama used to sing on the Louisiana Hayride, and
Really?
With Farron Young and David Houston and all them, and Allison Krauss back when she was like 13. And so by the time I got born, she started trying to figure out how long it was going to take for me to learn how to sing a song, and then she did a demo on me at like 4 years old, and then at 7 years old I was drug around to every little talent contest, and by the time I was 13 I said I'm done with this, you know. And I went to riding bulls with all my friends, and it was about 100 pounds ago, a long time ago, and I just wanted to get away from the music until I lived a little bit more life, and then I decided I wanted to get into the writing. I still didn't want to go out in front of people and sing it, but in a room with four walls, I didn't have nobody to judge me, nobody to look at me and kind of pick apart what I was saying. And then I realized that some people needed to hear what I was saying, and that's what evolved into what it is today.
Rich, when did you? Yeah, you can clap. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Rich, when did you write your first song?
I think I was obsessed with Robert Earl Keen. I mean, when I was 14, I went and saw Robert Earl Keen play, and it's something, because as you know, we grew up on Top 40 radio, and I thought, well, to be famous, you had to sound like John Anderson or George Strait or something.
Yeah.
So I was 14, I went and saw Robert Earl Keen. I was like, well, this guy's on the radio, and there's like 1,000 people here, and you can do this for a living? And my buddy's like, yeah. And we snuck backstage and saw all the road cases, and I thought it was just the coolest thing. And so my freshman year at A&M, I just bought the Robert Earl Keen chord songbook, and I just learned every Robert Earl Keen song. And then I realized like all the chord progressions just kind of made sense. It kind of like I taught myself the circle of fifths in music. So then I just started writing songs for girls, and I was kind of goofy looking, so it was the only way I could get in, you know.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, for some reason, a song goes a long way. Like,
yeah, it does.
A girl's song, they just think that's the cutest thing. Like, so that was it, and I started just going to all the open mic nights, you know, at A&M, and then I, going to songwriter nights and just trying to. I was that little kid, just wouldn't stop and just wanted to do it for some reason. I don't know what it was. I should have quit. I should have never did it. My parents told me, please don't pursue this. You're not good. I mean, you heard it, and I loved writing. It was fun.
Well, you've put out 7 records, so I want to ask you: is there something off one of those first records that you still get requests for every show that you still play? Tell us about one of those and play it.
Our big break was a song called "Queen of the Misfits." Yeah. It was right in the time when like Bart Crow's "Where My Ring" came out, "Starting the Ruse," Oklahoma Breakdown came out, and here I am. I came out with "Queen of the Misfits," and I had this drive in me, and the drive was living with my parents. So I got graduated from college, and I went to the Brazos Valley Bank in College Station, and I recorded this record. And the guy got fired because he gave me a bank loan for a Camry, a stick shift Camry, and then my collateral was my album because I said it was worth $10,000. And he got canned. The bank owner was like, "We did what?" And so I drove to every radio station, and I'd sleep in my car, I would sit outside, and we got Queen of the Misfits to number 3 behind Where My Ring and Oklahoma Breakdown in 2007. And from there, I got to open for Randy and Pat and really got the scene and got my name out there, and that was a big deal for us. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to play that one for us?
Sure, yeah. And looking back now, it's a dumb song. As you grow up, songs are like photographs of a book. Like, no one wants to see the yearbook photo. But that's kind of what you look like. And you're just like, man, that was not a good look. But I still like this song. It's called Queen of the Misfits. You never fit in school, but I don't seem to care. From your ratty tennis shoes up to your uncombed hair, you got an attitude that matches your unmatched dress. My eyes are all over you, girl, I must confess. Hey, girl, you're the queen of the misfits, and you live in your own world, and you lie to yourself. Hey, girl, you're the queen of the misfits, and you live in your own world. Oh, but girl, you got it going on. You think you look pretty good when you go out at night. You keep giving me those eyes, girl, and you know I just might sweep you off your feet. I might show you around, 'cause I know there's never been a guy like Bryan Martin to take you on the town, yeah. Hey, misfits, and you live in your own world, and you lie to yourself. Well, hey, girl, you're the queen of the misfits, and you live in your own world. Oh, but girl, you got it going on, yeah. All that messed up hair, all that BS that you would say. Girl, you look like you lost. Well, I know, I like you that way. Hey, girl, you're the queen of the misfits, and you live in your own world, and you lie to yourself. Well, hey, and you live in your own world, but girl, you got it going on. See, it's a goofy song.
I don't remember hearing that one part in the original though. I feel kind of left out.
Yeah, I know you got it. The funny part about that tune was I wrote it for my girlfriend at A&M, and I've always been real attracted to goofy women. I don't know what it is. I think goofy women are just good people. You know, it goes on there.
I'm not going to touch that, Rich. You're not baiting me into that, buddy. I'm not doing it.
Anyways, that girl, we broke up after college, and she got into photography, and she shot Casey Musgrave's wedding. So that's about the photographer. So I mean, it's funny how everything kind of like weaves its way back.
So one thing I'm noticing, and Bryan, we hadn't known each other that long, but I've enjoyed your music, and even just in the time we got to spend together up in the green room, I noticed a stark difference between you and Rich. Rich has a really cool bachelor pad, and still writing songs for girls, and still doing his thing, and you're very quick to, like, whether it's listening to your music or listening to you talk, you're very quick to talk about your family and talk about your roots and talk about your kids. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, where you're living now, and tell us about your family, kind of the makeup of your family.
Okay. So originally, my family, my grandpa originated out of San Antonio. My daddy and them wound up migrating around to Corrigan. My brothers and sisters were born here in New Caney, and then they dropped me off in Logansport, Louisiana. And so, like, it's just the perfect place where nobody in Louisiana will book you because you're too far north, and nobody in Texas will book you because you're in Louisiana. But no, it's just me and my family just. I met Baba Joe, and we, you know, I'd been through some stuff, and she helped me through a lot of stuff like addiction and everything else. She was really there for me through a lot of things, and we've got 4 kids, and we've been together for 15 years, and 1 year of that we were divorced, and so, you know, it's one of those things where it's like I just truly did everything I could to make sure I put food on the table for them, even though that I knew that I was gone all the time. I was working, and I really couldn't wrap my head around the fact that, like, by the time I got where I thought I needed to be, they were gonna be gone, you know. And it's still that way. It's still that way. Like, by the time I get where I think I need to be, they're gonna be gone. But I want them to have something, you know. I want them to have more than I had. And it's not that I ain't appreciative of what I had, because I tell everybody I came from nothing, but that nothing meant something to me because I know how hard my dad worked for it, you know. So yeah, that's kind of like, that's where I came from, and that's why I do what I do.
Well, you set up the song I was going to ask for perfectly. Long as Daddy's working.
Yes, sir.
I wonder if you
Yes,
play
sir.
that song for us.
I sure can, brother. Yes, sir. I wrote this song out on the rigs. I've only been doing music full time for about 1.5 years now. I worked in the oil field all the way up until then, and I'm just blessed to be able to be doing this. But this is still a job. Trust me. It's more of a job than I ever thought it would be, but I'm more than grateful for it. This song rings truer now than it ever has. Another run down hotel room, another wake up call. I've been out here too damn long now. It's coming on for working and sleeping. That's all I do every day. But to hear my friends talk, they think I got it made, but they ain't handing out this money. I ain't got a damn dime for free. I've been giving everything I got to feed my family, putting food back home on the table. There's an empty spot in my bed. I could work hard every hour and would never get ahead. But them babies know there's one thing that's for certain. Yeah, they ain't ever gotta worry about hurting, long as Daddy's working. Wipe the sweat from my brow when I think I can't take any more. I look back in my memory and remember just who I'm working for. The good Lord's got my family, and I know they're doing fine, 'cause He's got His job covered. Now it's time that I do mine, 'cause they ain't handing out this money. I ain't got a damn dime for free. I've been giving everything I got to feed my family, putting food back home on the table. There's an empty spot in my bed. I could work hard every hour and would never get ahead. But them babies know there's one thing that's for certain. Yeah, they ain't ever gotta worry about hurting, long as Daddy's working. 'Cause they ain't handing out this money. I ain't got a damn dime for free. I've been giving everything I got to feed my family, putting food back home on the table. There's an empty spot in my bed. I could work hard every hour and would never get ahead. My babies know there's one thing that's for certain. They ain't ever gotta worry about hurting, long as Daddy's working.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Great song. All right, so Rich, I want to ask you about the current single. Talk
and
to
also,
us.
yeah, Kyle, like, I'm getting painted as like the playboy of the Southwest, and and this guy's out here working for his kids, man. I mean, hey, dating a couple different girls, you know how expensive designer bags are? Really expensive. Daddy's working over here too. It's just
As long as Daddy's working.
me and Bryan are with the same agency, and I've gotten to know Bryan in the last couple of days, and met him a couple of times. And man, this is one of the most genuine people you've ever met in your entire life. And I'm looking forward to an amazing friendship with him. Just the last couple of days of being on tour with him, of how honest what he's singing about is real. Mm-hmm. And you don't find that these days, man.
Yeah.
Man, you're just as real, brother. I can promise you that.
Go ahead, Kyle. Sorry.
Love on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, man.
Love on a Sunday, the new single.
Yeah, it's unique. I feel that I think my job has always been to shake up Texas music a little bit. It gets a little stale. Sometimes in a world where we already have a Cody Johnson, there's no need to have 30 Cody Johnsons. We already have a Randy Rogers, there's no need to have 30 Randy Rogers. I think that there should be something unique out of every band. This single's very unique. It sounds kind of more like a John Mayer song. Yeah, there we go. And, I try, and my brand's always been weird. Kyle, Rich Toole. The name's weird. That's my real name. I was born Rich. I got beat up a lot as a kid. Yeah. I think just bringing something new. And I think we went in the studio. I was like, I got this cool song, and it's really kind of just about you and your girl on Sunday grabbing brunch, and let's face it, making love. And it's about just it's a romantic song.
Well, now that you've got us all in the mood, play it for us.
I graduated from A&M with public speaking, and that was the worst speech leading up to this. Darling, take my hand, help me understand love that's so real. Darling, hold me tight all through the night. A love I can feel, but I got nothing but heart, and it's beating out of my chest, and we're making love on a Sunday, flying high on a Tuesday. Darling, just me and you. Go out dancing on a Thursday, flying high on a Saturday. Well, darling, just me and you. Well, just me and you. Well, baby, take my hand. Girl, I hope you understand. Oh, love that's so real. I got nothing that I can tell you, darling, baby. I know just how it feels. I got nothing but heart, and it's beating out of my chest, and we're making love on a Sunday, flying high on a Tuesday. Darling, just me and you. Go out dancing on a Thursday, getting high on a Saturday. And darling, just me and you. Oh, just me and you. And I got nothing but heart, and it's beating out of my chest, and making love on a Sunday, flying high on a Tuesday. Darling, just me and you. We'll go out dancing on
Thursday, getting high on a Saturday, darling, just me and you. Oh, you know it. Making love on a Sunday, flying high on a Tuesday, darling, just me and you. Go out dancing on a Thursday, getting high on a Saturday, darling, just me and you. Darling, just me and you. Thanks,
Yeah. That's a great one. How long has that one been out, Rich?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it came out on my birthday, August 6th.
Awesome. Congratulations. It's a great song.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Really
yeah, it's
cool.
different. You know, it's different for Texas country, and I thought, you know, it's a fun song. You and your girl have fun with it. Go roller skate. I don't know.
Whatever it is you want to do.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So, Bryan, I want to stay for a minute. Let's stay on the topic that you just brought up, and one of the things that's very like I love all kinds of music. The music that has tended to resonate with me the most, like over my whole entire life, has been the stuff. You know, going back to the thought, I was the kid that would look and see who wrote the songs that were recorded by my favorite artists. And it always tended to just work out that I was more into the artist that wrote their own songs. Now, I didn't necessarily know that until I looked at it and figured it out. But I think there's something too when you're hearing something that's coming from somebody that lived it. Now, that's not saying I've had a lot of people up on this stage that have been really good at picking good songs to sing that other people have written, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But for me personally, like it just seems like throughout my life, I've been very honed in on something that seems to be there from the person that wrote the song, right? And immediately, one of the ones that jumped out for me on your newest record was the title track, Self-Inflicted Scars. Now, having the opportunity to spend, you know, we've probably known each other all for about 2 hours now, right? Yes. And so, but getting to listen to you talk a little bit, and you're not shy about it, so I'm going to ask about it, and that is that song, Self-Inflicted Scars, obviously was a song that you earned the hard way, and you know, I think there's a lot of people out there trying to figure out stuff that's going on in their lives, and maybe even wonder if there's another side to whatever the hard stuff is they're going through now. And this one is kind of sung from that perspective, kind of acknowledging that you've got these things that you've been through and that you've dealt with. Tell us a little bit more about that story and about that song.
So, you know, I ain't gonna get like real deep, but you know, my first song came from a suicide note, and like I said, I took a lot of pills and drank a fifth of whiskey and had a 357 Magnum misfire right after I got back from the military because I didn't finish what I went to do because of a technicality that my recruiter forgot to put in there. And so like when I came home, my family, they accepted me, but I didn't accept myself, you know, because I went to do something and I didn't get to do it. And so I just had a hard time dealing with that because I never quit nothing, you know what I mean? So it's like to have somebody tell you can't do something, it's just like, okay. But you know, that happened, and literally the next day, I met the woman that's now my wife, and we've got 4 kids. So literally the day after something that could have took my life, you know, it gave me meaning to life. And so it's just crazy how God works, you know. And ever since then, it's been 9 car wrecks from doing stupid shit, staying up too late, trying to run too hard. You know, it's been me getting in my own head on them long drives, thinking that I'm not doing enough. And I think that a lot of people get in that headspace and they don't know what to do. And I just got a chance to go to Nashville about 8 months ago, and I went in to Nashville, and I was doing all this stuff that everybody was wanting me to do, and I got to running too hard, and I stayed out too late, and I said, I'm gonna drive on home. And everybody was like, no, you need to stay in a hotel room. And I was like, no, I need to get back home to the babies. You know, I got them up here in Tennessee now, so I'm going home. But it's a 45-minute drive because I didn't want to live nowhere close to Nashville. So it was like, so I drove up and got 2 miles from my house, and I flipped my car 4 times and wound up in a hospital with some broken ribs and another brain injury. And you know, when I got out of the hospital, I told Bobby Joe, it was like 2 days after the wreck, I told her, I said, I need you to help me get up out of bed and get me in there in that room. I need to write this song. And she said, no, you need to lay down and rest. And I said, no, I need to write this song. And we'd already had the album done. And I wrote this song, and I sent it to my label, and they said, that's you. That's the title of the album. Even if we had to push the date back on releasing it, that's the title of the album. So this song's called Self-Inflicted Scars.
Headlights on the interstate. Seems like I'm running late, but I know I'm only headed down the drain. An empty bottle and another shot. I give it everything I got, but nothing can seem to numb this pain. Where I'm going won't be far. Too much whiskey and poor choices, and them self-inflicted scars. But baby, don't cry for me when I'm gone. And don't be surprised if it don't take too long. Just know I loved you with all of my heart. Too much whiskey and poor choices, self-inflicted scars. Well, I remember being a child, never dreamed of running wild, but something just slipped into my veins. I'd take a pill and I'd wash it down, then I'd find myself running around. The devil on my back drives me insane. One night stands and no guitar. Too much whiskey and poor choices, no self-inflicted scars. Baby, don't cry for me when I'm gone. Don't be surprised if it don't take too long. Just know I loved you with all of my heart. Whiskey and poor choices, and self-inflicted scars. Baby, I know that you've been praying for an old soul that ain't worth saving. Hold me together when I'm falling apart. After too much whiskey and poor choices, and them self-inflicted scars. You hold me together when I'm falling apart. After too much whiskey and poor choices, and them self-inflicted scars. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Another great one, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you, brother.
All right, so Rich, you know, when I first heard your music, most of your touring and everything you were doing was pretty much exclusively in Texas.
Yeah, pretty much.
When I first found out about you and started listening to your tunes, and then You've spent time in L.A. You've spent time in New York, and I think it was the studio record before the one that's out now. It's actually called New York, and you got a song on there called New York City. Tell us a little bit about, you've traveled around, you've taken your music to some different places, but tell us about that. But then let's wind up in New York and maybe play that song for us.
I think it was. I'll start with this. This is not easy to do, and Texas music and Texas country is way different than Nashville. And there's one thing: I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas. I went to A&M. I'm a Texan. When I was 29, I just thought, I kind of want to see the world. And it was bad for my career. It really was. It was terrible for my career because I moved to LA. I was living in the Hollywood Hills. I was going to Hollywood parties. I was writing music for movies. And I was still touring in Texas, but I'd come back here when people found out that I was living in California. And I was coming back opening for, Roger Craig or Randy or something. People would boo me and stuff. And it was like, I just kind of want to see the world. I've lived my first 29 years in Texas. I don't know what it's like to live out there. I'm a young kid. And it was hard for me, and I really had to fight for it. I'm glad I did it. I don't have any regrets. I'm glad I got to live in Los Angeles, live in New York City. Wouldn't live in those two cities ever again. They're fun to visit. Yeah. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way that Texas really is one of the best places to live. Yeah. And being a Texan and living here my first 29 years, I can tell you that. And so when someone does something, now I kind of have a thing is when I meet the 42-year-old guy, it's like, I'll never move out of Texas. Well, you should go at least visit other places. I don't know. And so, it was hard for me, but it did shape my writing a little bit, and it made me a little more brave. And I'm glad to be back here. I just bought a house in the Heights. I live in Houston, and I love it, man. So. I think it's awesome. On that record, New York City was a thing where it was kind of a sad song. On the fact that but I did like it. It was a hard record to put out, and I put that album out. Get this March of 2020. So here we go, putting out a full album that we have a staff and team and PR team and yada yada, and COVID hits. Oh, dude. Man, yeah. I literally have never suffered from depression, and I'll tell you what, I did. Yeah. I was out. I really started drinking pretty heavy. I didn't want to tour. I didn't want to write. I was so sad. I was waking up by 11 a.m. I'd be drunk. I hated life at that point because I worked for 3 years to write a record. COVID hit in 2020. The album came out the week the government told us to stay home for 2 years. And I was like, man. You work your whole life to get somewhere. You work your whole life to write this record that you think is pristine and amazing, and you can't go to radio stations. You can't tour it. That broke my heart.
Yeah, yeah. There will at some point there will be a vault of material that was written that never got to be properly released. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Because,
there will be.
Yeah. It really devastated the creative community.
And guys that lived on the road and songwriters and touring, we feed off of y'all. You were the iPhone charger to our iPhone, man. If I can't plug into y'all, I'm dead. And that was the hardest part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you want to play that New York City for us?
Sure, I'll play it. Yeah. This is a fun song. I feel like that speech was really sad. But this song, I got in a lot of trouble in New York City. New York City is an adult playground. Have y'all anyone here been to New York and visited? Yeah? Show of hands, participation. You can do whatever you want, 24 hours a day. You can literally do whatever you want. And for a 33-year-old guy living there that's single, not a good place to live. Yeah, from Brook Street to Amsterdam, I walk these streets with no plan. Yeah, all these late night places just don't understand. I walk from Houston to Uptown, Hell's Kitchen, I get around to Murray Hill to see the girl I just let down. New York City got my vote. I've been out here
All alone, these bars and women gave me a home and kept me stoned. New York City, you got my vote. I go and meet the girls downtown, Hell's Kitchen. I get around these back alleys, bars gave me a crown, what I can't put down. I walk from Houston to Uptown, Murray Hill. I get around to see the girl, and you know I just let down. New York City, you got my vote. I've been out here all alone. These bars and women gave me a home and kept me stoned. New York City, you got my vote. And I just gotta get out of here before I'm broke and things just ain't so crystal clear. But New York City, you got my vote. I've been out here all alone. These bars and women gave me a home but kept me stoned. Yeah, New York City, you got my vote. I've been out here all alone. These bars and women gave me a home and kept me so. New York City, you got my vote. You got my vote. Oh yeah. So yeah, you can imagine. I remember me and Bryan are on the same record label, and I left to go independent now. Bryan's just crushing it over there. This guy's Spotify numbers are just like through the roof. But I remember they kind of gave me a lot of freedom. They were like, write whatever you want. And then we were releasing. The PR team's like, yeah, so you're a Texas artist releasing an album called New York. Yeah, good luck with that, man. This isn't gonna sell. And, I proved them wrong. It sold. It did. It actually did. I got a check in the mail for the first time where we paid back all the debt, and we're in the profit on it. So
That's
you know what?
great.
I think maybe good music comes around to people. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's great. Okay, so I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question, Bryan, and that's, you like again. You're an authentic person. It shines through in your music, and I feel like you probably have been through some things or had some situations in your life where you got to prove that you really are one. And that is a song that you wrote called Everyone's an Outlaw.
Yeah.
Because it seems to me like you would want to, I would want you in my corner if we were going to get in a scuffle in the parking lot. And so Everyone's an Outlaw is written from a perspective of somebody that really knows what that takes and maybe can recognize that there's a lot of people out there that think they're outlaw country or outlaw people or gangster or whatever you want to call it, and maybe they're not so much.
Well, I just think that a lot of people get the wrong perspective of what an outlaw really is. Like my daddy, I never saw him like in a lot of bar fights or anything like that, or going and robbing a bank or anything like that. But my daddy was an outlaw because my daddy worked on everything, fixed everything, and he never had to go outsourcing anything. He could do it all. And I thought that, man, that's outlaw shit. Like somebody who can hang a damn motor up in a tree and fix shit on his own, and don't have to worry about nobody, whoever is in the office, don't have to worry about them, So, and if it came to the front yard, we had something to take care of that too. So, that's what I consider an outlaw. So, yeah, this song's called Everyone's an Outlaw.
Well, I was raised up by a simple man. I grew up with a gun in my hand. Taught me how to love and how to fight. Taught me what's wrong, taught me what's right. Said you don't have a choice to choose. You do what you can, but don't ever lose. Just remember, even when I'm dead and gone, stick to your guns, son. Make me proud. Don't ever back up, don't ever back down. Stand your ground and always tell like it is. Yeah, this life's gonna be real damn tough. You take them scars and you call that bluff. Don't let me catch you fitting in, 'cause everyone's an outlaw till it's time to do outlaw shit. Well, the times are changing, but not for me. I got my own home now and a family. 2 calloused hands and some old work boots. Busted my ass, paying my dues. Tell my kids every night, try to see the world through your neighbor's eyes, but make a difference if you can. Stick to your guns, son. Make me proud. Don't ever back up, don't ever back down. Stand your ground and always tell like it is. Yeah, this life's gonna be real damn tough. You take them scars and you call that bluff. Don't let me catch you fitting in, 'cause everyone's an outlaw till it's time to do outlaw shit. Stick to your guns, son. Make me proud. Don't never back up, don't never back down. Stand your ground and always tell like it is. And yeah, this life's gonna be real damn tough. You take them scars and you call that bluff. Don't let me catch you fitting in, 'cause everyone's an outlaw. Oh, now everyone's an outlaw till it's time to do outlaw shit. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that sentiment in that song is only to be topped by the newest single. The newest single released by Bryan Martin. If you haven't heard it yet, it is called F-A-F-O. F-A-F-O. And we're just going to say it's called Fool Around and Find Out. And it is not for the young ones in the audience, but anyone else who wants to check that out, listen to it on the way home. It's the new single. And
I should have just named it the Purple Fence Post song. That's what I should have named.
the Purple Fence Post. You should listen to it. It is definitely worth a listen, and you'll listen to it more than once, I promise. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's it.
I'm going to punt it right back over to Rich O'Toole over there. So L.A., tell us about L.A., Hollywood parties. Who's the most famous person you ran into?
Man, he already died before I moved out there. I don't know. There'd be cool people. I don't know. I try not to name drop or anything.
Come on, I asked you to name drop.
I think the coolest thing I saw would be probably not cool things. That's the thing is like you don't want to meet these people.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of those things where I prefer you to be in the movie. I don't want to meet. I don't know you as a person.
No, I get it. Like
it's kind of what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I think Dave Chappelle was probably the coolest person I ever met in my entire life.
That's cool. Yeah.
I also think that don't want to. I think saying negative things about people always comes back around. But like, there was a guy on the cast of what's that? Those nerds on WB. Who's the Big Bang Theory. Not the head dude, not the dude from Texas. One of the other guys was just terrible, a terrible person, and the way they talk and stuff. And it's like, man, there is something about being from Texas and being genuine. The famous people from Texas, like talking with McConaughey, stuff like that. That person's a real person.
Yeah.
I think there's something about Texas that really humbles you as a celebrity. You grew up here, and you're dealing with like real people in gas stations and like talking to people and yes ma'am, no ma'am. That sets you straight in Texas. I think that people that are in LA and New York City and other cities, they don't have that like humbleness or grow up in a small town or something like that were never really taught right or wrong. When they get famous and they don't know how to handle it, they treat others very disrespectful. So. That's all I got to say about that. It's like the Forrest Gump thing. That's all I got to say about that.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I want to ask you about one of my favorite records that you put out was your record called American Kid. And, of course, the song American Kid was a big song for you. Play that one for us or pick another one off that record that you want to play
American
for
Kid's
us.
a big song. So, like, usually it's, like, gigantic. It's going to be loud. I'm going to play it. I can play it right now. There's a lyric in there where I said, "Save the drama for your mama or blame it on Obama." And for me, I enjoy being controversial. Most people don't understand how I feel about certain things. To be honest with you, and just to get it out in the open and to put it out there, I'm not on either side. I'm down the middle. I believe in common sense. I mean, you talk about that. I think I don't like the government being involved in our business. I think to stick to building highways and stuff and leave people alone. I think the far left and the far right are both crazy. Just focus on treating humans correctly and being a good, honest person. That's how I feel about it.
There you go.
An American Kid was funny because no one ever knew how I stood, and I did the same thing with Peter and Paul because there was a thing in there I said, people's rights, build a wall, American freedom, watch it fall. People are like, are you for or against Trump? It's like, I'm not going to a meeting or something, man. I'm not for or against this. I like the guy. I think he was a great president. I didn't like the negative things about the guy. I don't know. I don't care. I'm a musician. One thing I will say I thought about today, and I'm sorry for doing this.
Hey, man, it's your turn.
One thing I will say today is stop going to your local celebrity for advice. If you have a depression or anxiety or alcoholism, do not ask our Kardashian what is wrong. They do not have a degree. Go see someone that has a medical degree for your diagnosis. Stop asking these dumb celebrities how they feel about your personal issue. I have a little bit of fame. Don't ask me about your marriage. I don't know what to tell you. Go see a marriage counselor, okay? I like to have fun and stop. So, I don't know where I got off on this, but yeah, American Kid.
Rich, I can tell you this. I would come to you for a lot of things, but not marriage advice. I don't think. I think I would be more likely to become unmarried if I hung out with you too long and took your advice.
I'm softening up at my own age, and my mom's on me. She's like, "When am I getting grandkids and stuff like that?" And I really am trying to settle down. I really am, and it's a thing, I think I dedicated my life to music for so long, and to be honest, 70% of my friends are now divorced, so I'm like, I'll catch you on the second time around. I'll catch this. I was like, I'll just catch the second wave. I love American Kid. This song is like very poetic, and American Kid, the album we talk about, is I had fun writing it. It came out in 2017, and absolutely loved it. I'll play American Kid for you. Rolling down the highways, turnpikes and the byways, I ain't afraid of nothing. Gotta give me something, my lady's in the backseat. Showing off her bare feet, I drive it like I stole it. I'm rocking and rolling, I'm coming in sideways, flipping my leg. Watch out for me, baby, you're American Kid, yeah. Got red, white, and blue running through my veins. My grandfather's dad fought for this land.
stars, I got 13 stripes right across my scars. I do as my fathers did, I'm your American kid. I ain't high class, man. I ain't trailer trash, I'm trying to make a quick buck. I'm running out of good luck and high as an eagle. I'm rolling illegal, I'm taking all the back roads, I'm ditching all the purples. I'm coming in sideways, I'm flipping my lid. Watch out for me, baby, you're American kid, yeah. Got red, white, blue running through my veins. Well, my grandfather's dad fought for this land. Well, bullet holes in 50 stars, I got 13 stripes right across my scars. Hey, I do as my fathers did, I'm your American kid. Woo-hoo. Save the drama for your mama. Blame it on Obama. These politicians reaching, pushing an impeach on the people of this land. The blue-collar working man. The gas prices got me down. I barely made it in a town. I'm off the clock. I got me a political bid. Hey, watch out for me, baby. You're American kid. Yeah. I got red, white, blue running through my veins. My grandfather's dad fought for this land. Bullet holes in 50 stars, I got 13 stripes right across my scars. I do as my fathers did, I'm your American kid. Yeah, I do as my fathers did, I'm your American kid. I do as my fathers did, I'm your American kid.
Hey, yeah.
Are y'all having a good time tonight? Everybody doing good? Okay. This is where I need y'all to be an active part of the show, okay? We need to do a liner to kick off the radio show, okay? So, you know, this is Bryan Martin, and this is Rich O'Toole, and this is real life, real music. That's what I need out of you guys. So y'all decide how you want to do that. And then after they do that, I need y'all to go absolutely nuts, okay? For about 4 minutes, and then I'm going to cut you. No, just kidding. Till I go like this, but we just need you to be loud, all right?
You want to do the Bryan Martin part? Or
Yeah, you know,
okay.
I don't know. Your stories are way cooler than my stories. Yeah.
Real life? I'll do real life. You
Oh,
do
you want
real
to do?
music?
You go. I'm Bryan Martin, and I'll say I'm Rich O'Toole, and then we can both say it at the same time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. I'm Bryan Martin.
I'm Rich O'Toole.
This is real life, real music.
Man, that was perfect. You guys are good. Where have y'all been all night? That was great. That was great. Okay.
Now that we know.
Yeah. Now, are you guys doing okay? Y'all need anything? Everybody
Oh,
got what they need?
Good right now.
Are y'all okay? Are y'all doing good?
All right.
We don't get interviewed a lot. This is like very sometimes nerve-wracking, but like I just want to make sure y'all are. Sometimes the audience is the most important part. So.
Always.
Always.
Oh, so I need a shot. Somebody said. Okay, so I want to ask you about a song that was on the record before, Self-Inflicted Scars, a song called Oilfield Dad.
Yes, sir.
Tell us the story behind that one.
So, like I said, you know, I spent 15 years, and I spent 7 of those years in West Texas. I worked derricks and started out working floors and throwing a spinning chain on a Kelly rig when I was 18 years old, you know, and still got all my fingers so I can play a guitar. So thank God for that. But yeah, I worked my way up, and as I worked my way up, I kept having babies. And because you know you only get a couple weeks off and you ain't got nothing else to do. So, so like I said,
Love on a Sunday.
love on a Sunday. There you go. So, and then I realized I had to get a raise because I got babies. So I kept working my way up, and I always was about like outworking that next guy and getting as far as I could in this life. And but I always was doing it for my babies. And there was if anybody ever asked if you wanted to work overtime and everybody else said no, I was always the first one to say, yeah, I'll do it. And then I was always the first one to kick myself in the butt whenever they drive off and I'd be left there for another 2 weeks. But at the same time, I did it because I wanted to give them a better life. And so that's what this song's about. I wrote this song. It was in West Texas back in, I think it was 2015, 2016. And I can just remember it was cold. It was real cold. I was down on the mud tanks, and I was watching returns for cement, and I remember I just said, ever since my little girl was 2 years old, I've been out on a rig chasing that black gold, and the times flew by. It brings a tear to a roughneck's eye, and I just almost broke down right there. And I just kept writing it the rest of the day. And when I got home, I sat down and I played it for him, and my wife said, you need to post that. And I said, no, I said something about bringing a tear to a roughneck's eye. Roughnecks don't cry, you know what I mean? She said, you better post that. And I did, and I'm so glad that I did. This song was a real big song for me, my first big song. It was, and I spent 7 more years in the oil field, and everybody kept saying, man, why ain't you out there in Nashville? Why ain't you on The Voice? You know, everything that you hear all the time. And I said, because I wrote a song about the oil field. It's like, all my fans are right here. Why would I want to be anywhere else? So this song's called Oil Field Dead. I'm going to tune it in around one. Well, ever since my little girl was 2 years old, and on a rig chasing that black gold, and the times flew by, brings a tear to a roughneck's eye. I do what I can to make ends meet, out there on the rigs for those 2 weeks. But when I get home, see what I'm missing when I'm gone. 'Cause I miss birthdays and holidays too. Their first words and first days of school. You know it's hard on them, but it's hard on me too. Yeah, these calloused hands, big paychecks, won't buy back the things I miss. But I know someday I'm gonna tell them some way that I missed afterlife to give them one I never had. It ain't easy being an old field dad. I count down the days while I'm gone. She sends me pictures on the phone of her and the kids, and they're blowing me a kiss. I just put on my boots and get back to work, covered in old blood, sweat, and dirt, and I think of them until I'm home again. 'Cause I miss birthdays and holidays too. Their first words and first days of school. You know it's hard on them, but hell, it's hard on me too. Yeah, these calloused hands and big paychecks won't buy back the things I miss. But I know someday I'm gonna tell them some way that I missed afterlife to give them one I never had. It ain't easy being an old field dad. I miss birthdays and holidays too. Their first words and first days of school. You know it's hard on them, but hell, it's hard on me too. Yeah, these calloused hands, big paychecks won't buy back the things I miss. But I know someday I'm
Gonna tell them some way that I missed half the life to give them one I never had. Let's be honest here. It ain't easy being any kind of dad. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So good, man.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, that's a great song,
Thank
man.
you, brother.
Love that song. All right. What time is it, man? I'm getting lost up here.
9:17.
All this good music. Well, I told you I was going to tell you a little bit more about our sponsors. Let me do that real quick. I want to start with the Griffin Realty Group because they're here tonight. We've had a lot of different corporate sponsors over the time that we've been doing this over the last 15 years. And, most of the times I know the people pretty well, but I can't always say that I'm a client. And I don't know how many of you live in this area, and I think all over the U.S. it's been crazy, but especially in Montgomery County, what's been going on in real estate, like how crazy the frenzy was, and then it's kind of fallen off. And I mean, it's just, to navigate the real estate market is a tough deal. But what was it now? About a month ago, we closed on our house. So I'm a proud client of the Griffin Realty Group. They helped us sell our house. And all I can tell you is that if you need somebody to help you navigate getting into a new home, selling your old home, and you want somebody that understands the market but will also take the time to help you understand what's going on in the market right now so you can get the most for your home or get the best buy on a new home, then the Griffin Realty Group can take care of you. Y'all wave at everybody back there again. Thank y'all for everything you do to make nights like this happen. And again, my friends from Caldwell Communities couldn't be here tonight, and Chicago Title, but they've been sponsors with us for a while now too. And between them, the Griffin Group, and Do-Si-Do, that's how we make nights like this happen. So let's give them all one big round of applause. Thank you guys for everything, for helping us keep this show up and going for the last 15 years. How old were you 15 years ago?
I was, let me see, I was 19.
All right.
Now you know how old I am.
No, well, I'm an Aggie, so is he. We'd have to probably work on that math problem together. Well, Rich, we're back over to you, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Back over to you. And I want you, this round right here is going to be y'all just picking something you want to play, because I've kind of been guiding you around. I appreciate you letting me weave through your career. But you just pick a song you want to play tonight.
Cool, man. This is one of the first songs we had on the radio, and it kind of helped me get my career started. And this is called The Cricket Song. The air last night was warm and moist. Well, in a dream I thought I heard your voice. Well, I went outside and started to sing. The crickets were doing the very same thing. Yeah, 'cause me and the crickets sing all night long. Me and the crickets sing the same damn song. A song of how love should be. A song of how you should be with me. Well, the crickets sing loud, but they sing good. The crickets sing like I wish I could. Well, I sing good, but the crickets sing best. Me and the crickets put the night to rest. Yeah, 'cause me and the crickets sing all night long. Me and the crickets sing the same damn song. A song of how love should be. A song of how you should be with me. Oh, Do-Si-Do, y'all having a good time tonight?
Sometimes I wonder, oh, if the crickets know where love comes from, where love goes. And if they know, they're not saying okay, 'cause all they do is sit here and sing. Yeah, 'cause me and the crickets sing all night long. Me and the crickets sing the same damn song. A song of how love should be. A song of how you should be with me. You know I really think you should be with me. You ask the crickets and they'll agree. I said you ask the crickets and they'll agree. Well, thank y'all for having me, guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, Bryan, now you're up, man. You get to pick
Man.
one. You pick one you want to play.
Man.
And we're gonna do. We got time for one more round after this. So
Okay.
you play one, then y'all will both
All
play
right.
one more.
Well, like I said, I wrote a lot of songs, and I know y'all heard a couple about my babies and my family, but the one that held it all together, all those times that I was gone, and all those times that I was home, what was still gone in another world on drugs or whatever it was, and watched me go through withdrawals and stood by my side when nobody else would. I finally wrote a song for her after all those years, and it took losing her to do it. And then now that we're back together, it's one of those things where it reminds me every day that, you know, you don't have to go through that much stuff to realize that you got somebody like that at home. So this song's called Beauty in the Struggle. She's as real as it gets, and there ain't no way around it. There's a road that's been through hell, and she's been down it. She's been mistreated, she's been lied to. She's seen her share of trouble, but that girl, she's the beauty in the struggle. 'Cause she ain't all about herself. She ain't one to ask for help. She's a diamond that you find when you've been left behind. You're sifting through that rubble, yeah, that girl, she's the beauty in the struggle. She carries a weight that most could never handle, picking up the pieces of a heart that's been dismantled. She's a good friend, she's a fighter, and she's watched her whole world crumble. But that girl, she's the beauty in the struggle. She ain't all about herself. She ain't one to ask for help. She's a diamond that you find when you've been left behind. Sifting through that rubble, yeah, that girl, she's the beauty in the struggle. She ain't all about herself. She ain't one to ask for help. She's a diamond that you find when you've been left behind. You're sifting through that rubble, yeah, that girl, she's the beauty in the struggle. Yeah, she's the beauty in the struggle. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Great song. All right. Have y'all had a good time tonight? Thank you guys for being here this evening. We're going to do one more round with these guys before we get out of here. And then, do y'all have any? You got any merch you can sell us or anything tonight?
Yeah.
Got some T-shirts and hats and whatever.
We got some koozies and CDs and shirts.
All right, so let's go over and lighten their load after the show and say hello and get them to sign something for us. But man, Rich, what do you want to finish your set with tonight?
We had this song come out, and me and Bryan were talking about it last night. There's a lot of things that, like in country music, it's not about Nashville and Texas anymore. It's about good music and bad music. And there's like some kind of thing about that now. It's like, man, there's a lot of people that are just putting out music that sounds like a radio jingle. I don't think that's country music. I think country music is about, like what Bryan's doing, there's a real story behind. It's genuine what's behind it. And so I wrote this song kind of about that. It's not really a punch at anybody. It's kind of just a thing of like, I don't like seeing people go to Nashville and just wanting to be Luke Bryan. I'd rather see someone go to Nashville and wanting to be themselves, and be genuine. And that's not hurting anybody. I just think the song was kind of like about that. And so it's called Low Hanging Fruit. And it's about people that just show up and want to pick the low hanging fruit, in the music industry. So. You come to town and you change your name off 15-minute fame. And not on stage, you're pretty brave. They give you a shovel to dig your grave. You got a Gibson and a stylish hat. You're covering Childress, but you're singing flat. And all your buddies, they lie to you when they tell you sound like someone new. 'Cause Nashville really ain't in the South. When you're in Texas, you shut your mouth. Americana is the truth, and you'll follow suit. Yeah, but it ain't you. You're just low-hanging fruit. You sold your soul for a record deal. You're making a lot of Instagram reels. You're shaking hands at the meet and greet, while your manager's counting your money behind the scenes. 'Cause Nashville really ain't in the South. When you're in Texas, you shut your mouth. Americana is the truth, and you'll follow suit. Yeah, but it ain't you. You're just low-hanging fruit. Nashville really ain't in the South. When you're in Texas, you shut your mouth. Americana is the truth, but you'll follow suit. Yeah, kid, but it ain't you. It ain't you, 'cause Nashville really ain't in the South. When you're in Texas, you shut your mouth. Americana is the truth, and you'll follow suit. Yeah, but it ain't you. You're just low-hanging fruit. Yeah, but it ain't you. It ain't you. You're just low-hanging fruit. There you go.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams.
Good one. Good song, man.
All right. Well, you picked the closer tonight.
All right. So this is going to be the title track of my new EP that's going to be coming out next. And me and my good buddy, I wrote this one about 2.5 years ago, and I just didn't like the way it was wrote because it wasn't made for y'all. It was made for me to keep me going when I knew that things just wasn't going the way I thought they should go. So me and my good buddy Scott Sean White and Helene Cronin sit down and wrote this the way I wanted it to be, and the way that we thought that it would relate to the songwriters and the people who put in the time and the efforts out on the road and go through all the times that we just don't know what's coming next. It's like I said, I wear these steel-toe boots. They may not be the best looking ones I ever had, but I wear these steel-toe boots because all this came overnight and it can go away just as fast. So I'm just enjoying it while I can. And this song called Poets and Old Souls. Nobody's ever heard this one yet, so. Well, I can string some words together, make them pretty and make them rhyme. Put some hard miles on my heart, chasing this crazy dream of mine. I've left everyone I love, hurt everyone I know. It's a lonely road for poets and old souls. Take your pain, you write it down. You sing your songs, word slowly gets around. And there's some that think it's easy. I'm here to tell you it just ain't so. It's a lonely road for poets and old souls. This old guitar has seen me at my whiskey bottom worst. And looking back on it's a wonder I didn't wind up in a hearse. You see the part of me that shines, but there's a lot that you don't know. It's a lonely road for poets and old souls. Take your pain, you write it down. You sing your songs, word slowly gets around. And there's some that think it's easy. I'm here to tell you it just ain't so. It's a lonely road for poets and old souls. You take your pain, you write it down. In 15 years, we're still getting round. And there's some that think it was easy. I'm here to tell you it just ain't so. It's a lonely road for poets and old souls. You take your pain, you write it down. You sing these songs, word slowly gets around. And there's some that think it's easy. I'm here to tell you it just ain't so. It's a lonely road for poets and old souls. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bryan Martin and Mr. Rich O'Toole.
Thank you.
Carl, thank you so much, man.